Are you spending all this time writing captions and not making sales? Have you started to get unfollows every time you write a sales caption? So today we're going to learn exactly how you should not be talking like a salesman and actually start selling in your captions effectively without being salesy. Stay tuned. Welcome back, socials. My name is Rania and I'm here from socializethat, and today we're going to deep dive in terms of how you can actually write out your caption so that it can have a high conversion rate. So I actually got this topic idea from a follower of mine. Sumaya, thank you so much for giving me this topic. We are literally going to talk about how you can use your captions to sell without being salesy. Now, this topic is something that is near and dear to your heart and you want to learn more about it. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon, because in the coming weeks, we're going to deep dive even further into social media, social selling, attracting more people, building relationships with people on social media, and all these fun things. Can you guys tell I'm excited? I'm just gonna take a minute. Calm down, Rania. Anyways, now if you've been here before and you've watched my videos, you know that that's not usually how I start my videos. And the reason why I started this video this way is because most of the content online about how you can actually sell is ask a question related to the pain point, ask this, ask that. That's a good idea. But the way it automatically comes out when we start talking about it is the infomercial person that we really just got used to ignoring, right? We don't want our followers to ignore us. Instead, we want our followers to actually pay attention to what we're saying. So yes, you can start your caption with, a question or, the pain point of the customer, but you shouldn't start it off in a way that actually sounds like an infomercial, right? So it's not like, have you been struggling years and years with your weight? I got the magic pill. Now, the reason why you feel like it's so salesy is because you are conditioned to believe that this type of, the beginning of the video that I just started, if you want, go back and watch it, where I start to ask questions. In the way that I started to ask questions, you are conditioned to know that this is either an infomercial or a guy wearing, a suit with a tie, and it's usually like a brown suit with a white, a white shirt and a black tie. I don't know why. This is the image that comes to my head. And this person is usually holding a suitcase or a briefcase, and they are going door to door and knocking on people's doors. That's what comes to my mind. I'm pretty sure that's what comes to your mind, either the infomercial or the salesman. And even my clients associate starting the caption with a question to sound like an infomercial or like a salesperson. So instead of actually starting off with a question, even though it's easier, what you could do is you can start off with the hook. Now, the hook is literally anything you want it to be, but it needs to be strategic. So you can choose to write whatever hook you want, in whatever way you want, okay? But it needs to be strategic. It means it needs to be talking to the myths in your industry, the misconceptions in your industry, the problems that your ideal customer is dealing with, the scandalous information that you might have, the secrets that you might have, anything that feels like, oh my God, if I don't read this caption, I'm going to miss out. That is the hook. So essentially, your hook needs to grab the attention of your audience. Now, because it's a sales hook, it needs to be created in a way that doesn't sound like the salesman or the infomercial or like an advertisement. It needs to sound like human. So if your friend has a problem and you have the solution, you're not going to turn to your friend and be like, are you losing followers? Do you really want to gain more followers? You're not going to tell them that, right? You're going to look at her and be like, listen, I know where you're at. I know you're struggling with 1, 2, 3. I know that you're feeling this. I know that you're having this, you're putting in all this effort and you're not really seeing the results. That is your hook. You are talking to a friend on social media. You should love your followers because all your followers can be potential clients. This is what I believe in, right? And your hook needs to be talking to them as if they are your friend. And that means you're going to be talking with them and not at them. So I teach university and I teach digital marketing. And the difference between the way I teach and the way other people teach is that my age allowed me to be a little bit more flexible, and my mentality allowed me to be like, I don't need to be this authority, this 100% this is what we're going to learn today, and be like this professor. That gave me an edge. I connected with my students. I'm still connected to a lot of my students, and I've impacted a lot of my students. And the reason why is because I talk with them. I get their opinion. I, make sure that I'm implementing marketing in my teaching practices. So when you're actually writing out your caption, you need to think of it like as if you're talking to a dear friend. Like you care so much about this person. You're not going to go and ask them, have you lost the followers? Like that's not going to happen, right? That's a weird conversation. Like even me as an introvert, I know that this conversation can't start like that, right? So you need to make sure that that hook is really hitting a pain point that your customer is feeling. And that pain point can be like, being lied to, because of all the fake information out there. Or it could be like that they have worked so hard and so damn long and they're still not getting results. Or that they have like tried all the strategies and all these different things, still are struggling. There's still something that's keeping them stuck. So like there is something that's holding them back and you should know that, right? So you need to make sure that this part of your caption for a sales post needs to be touching a myth, misconception, mistake, or a feeling that this person is currently feeling that is related to the solution you're about to offer. So that is the hook. The second part is the call to action. What you want them to do. Do you want them to buy your course? Do you want them to book a call? Do you want them to, talk to you in the direct messages? What do you want them to do? Then, this is the important part. The first hook was to get the person to click see more. The call to action was for them to know what you're selling. The third part is where you're going to get the permission, quote, permission, to get them to read the rest of the caption. Here you're going to explain a story where you talk about their pain points. Why are they currently, struggling with this? Why are they currently struggling with that? So on and so forth. Why do they think this? Why are they not getting results? All these different aspects. You pick one, the one that you talked about in the hook, you continue it. And then with that, you're going to be explaining the next part, which is how you can transform their lives. Notice here, I didn't tell you to tell them how many, coaching calls you're going to give them, or how many modules they're going to get, or how many sessions you're going to be sitting with them or supporting them or whatever. No. It's what is going to happen with their life after they buy your product. So let me give you an example. So let's say you are selling a lettering workshop, so like a calligraphy workshop or whatever. And the sole purpose, like the one goal of this workshop is to get people that are stressed to find a hobby that is a de-stressing kind of hobby, like at the end of the day or like at the beginning of the day, they can start their day with it so that they can feel a little bit less, stressed and whatever. Your transformation here is not the skill of calligraphy, because this actual audience is not learning how to do calligraphy to send out handwritten notes, or they're not learning how to do calligraphy or because they want to bullet journal. No, they're actually learning this skill because they are so stressed in their lives, they need something to relieve that stress. So now your solution is not actually learning how to do calligraphy. It's a transformation in their lives, right? It's a transformation from I'm teaching people how to have nice writing to I'm teaching people a tool that they can use to de-stress. That transformation is worth the money, right? It's worth the value that you're going to be giving. So that is basically the third point where you are, or the fourth part of the caption where you start talking about your solution. And then the second call to action is where you invite them to comment below. And when you're commenting, when you get these people to comment below the post, you are essentially needing to build a relationship with the people that commented. And the reason why you need to build a relationship with the people that commented is because they took the time to comment on a sales post, which means they are interested, but they're not 100% sure that this is actually going to be valuable to them. So you need to actually reach out to them, engage with them, direct message them, and take them to the last step. So if you're actually struggling with writing captions, I have an Instagram caption checklist that you can pick up from the description box below. This caption checklist will help you actually structure your captions, and it will be easier for you to actually develop your caption. Now, before we actually end this video, I want to tell you one more thing. Next week, something interesting is going to happen that I'm super excited about. I'm going to release it in next week's video. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon because You don't want to miss this. Seriously, guys. All right? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.